What's going on, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning into this live stream segment of Mikase Sukase, and I am, of course, as always, your humble host, Niko House. Now, this is something that I was aware of for a couple of days. I hadn't done a video about it because I kind of wanted to see what YouTube's ultimate resolution would be. Now, many of you all at this point are familiar with Steven Crowder. He is the creator of the podcast Louder with Crowder. He's the one who always sets up the booths. You might see memes about him every now and then that says, you know, socialism sucks, changed my mind, etc., etc., etc. Crowder's an idiot. Crowder is a bumbling moron who doesn't actually like to be challenged on his ideas. He doesn't like to be challenged with his policies. He loves to lob insults at people and throw and attack people. But the moment that someone ever does the same to him, he whines. He turns himself into the victim. And then he always talks about how the left is intolerant. So basically he's a classic social justice warrior on the right. Got that. Now, Steven Crowder was saying some things about a reporter from Vox named Maza. I believe is his name. Carlos Maza. And to be honest, the things that he was saying probably would have had to fight Crowder for. I ain't gonna lie. To be completely honest with you, I probably would have had to fight him for it. Because this man was saying some completely and totally inappropriate things. He was definitely targeting Maza. Bullying is kind of like, that's a hard line to draw. But what he said his intention was to basically attack Maza by assaulting his sexual orientation. That's basically what it was about. So Maza called for YouTube to do something about it. Basically called for YouTube to censor him. And after that, things got a little bit dicey. Because at first they kind of thought they wanted to censor him, but then when they actually decided, when they saw like what the community guidelines say, they were like, actually, he didn't violate our community guidelines. But then they said, I think it was 24 hours later, even though at first Steven Crowder did not violate the community guidelines, they created some new rule overnight that said, hey, even if you almost violate community guidelines, we still may have reason to ban you. At the very bare minimum, we can demonetize you. Now, not really shedding a tear over Steven Crowder getting demonetized. Not really shedding a tear over that. Don't get me wrong. But they completely and totally demonetized his entire channel after telling him that he did not violate the community guidelines. Do you understand? Do you see what? Because someone else with a blue check mark, because how many times have people probably complained about being harassed, about being bullied, about the racial slurs, the slurs against the LGBTQ? I mean, this has been for years that people have been calling out Crowder and those like Crowder, right? Calling out Ben Shapiro for some of the rhetoric he's used towards Ilhan Omar. This is not new. And yet, when somebody with Vox attached to their name calls for this, all of a sudden, and especially when he's calling for it against one of the largest YouTubers, all of a sudden YouTube wants to start paying attention. And this is my problem. This is a conversation that Ron Placone and I had yesterday. Even though Crowder is indeed a moron, the unfortunate truth is YouTube has been so inconsistent with applying their community standards that I cannot accept on its face that it's made an accurate determination on whether or not Crowder violated community guidelines. Why? Because spreading lies, right? Spreading fake news even. Hell, even harassment. That's also in their community guidelines. CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, a lot of their individual, the people that work there, they've all been guilty of literal lies, verifiable lies, pushing out stories that later were retracted because it was found out to be a lie. Now, with Alex Jones, he was completely and totally deplatformed. YouTube was one of those platforms. They wouldn't really give, but they say he violated the community guidelines. Well, so have all these other platforms. Or so have all these other organizations. What makes Alex Jones unique? And that is really the question, is how long are we going to allow YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and the like to determine the outcome of these situations? You get what I'm saying? Because it's weird to me, because with Alex Jones, you probably wouldn't be able to question whether or not he violated community standards in some way, form, or fashion. It's not what I'm saying. You would probably find that out. Steven Crowder, same thing, but now we're in this gray zone. Alex Jones was purged. Steven Crowder was only demonetized. What's the difference? Why is there a difference between the way Steven Crowder was treated and the way that Alex Jones was treated? What's the precedent that was set? Why is it that when what's the name, Logan Paul went into the woods? Remember, he went to the woods with the Japanese, the suicide forest, and that was a big deal, right? His channel was not deleted. He was under temporary demonetization. And even still, by the way, Steven Crowder's demonetization is only temporary. So Alex Jones was treated one way. Steven Crowder was treated another way. I can be treated a completely different way. You can be treated a completely different way. This is why we need to update our antitrust laws. This is why we need to accept, if people are this worried about things that are being said on YouTube, things that are being said on Twitter, Facebook even, because it could affect the outcome of their lives so much, then we need to accept that these platforms, the major platforms, because of how much of a disproportionate influence they have now on the outcome of careers, your personal brand, hell, your reputation, these are public goods. And so when someone has established, this is part of my actual business, then it needs to be dealt with as such. And this is why we need to update our antitrust laws. This is why we need to convince, and this is one thing, this is one reason I love Tulsi. She understands this. One of the few politicians that have expressed this. Facebook is a public good, especially considering that the CIA invested a shitload of money into it to get it off the ground. Same thing with Google, same thing with Amazon. So, do I support Steven Crowder? No, not at all. I don't support Maza either, but what Steven Crowder did was wrong. But then we have to go about, in my opinion, a due process to outline in every way how that he was wrong. Why is that important? Because that sets the appropriate precedent going forward. Okay, so now this is how we're going to treat every single situation like this if it is ever brought into a court of law. When you don't have that consistency, then you leave room for, like I said, I don't like Alex Jones or Steven Crowder, but why is Steven Crowder being temporarily demonetized when he absolutely, according to their community guidelines, technically bullied, use homophobic slurs towards Maza? He was treated one way, only temporarily demonetized. Alex Jones was taken off completely. Same thing with Facebook, right? Why does CNN and Fox News have lied? Not little lies. Transformational lies that have affected the outcome of real lives. Neither of them have been taken off of Facebook. But they say Alex Jones violated community guidelines. Well, how did he do it? Facebook never said how. So the lack of consistency we should be scared of, because the other side of the story that's not getting told, Jimmy Dore talked about this on Twitter. After that, like 2,000 channels were deleted. And guess what? Some of them just had clips where they were trying to call out something bad. And because of that, they got demonetized. Or they got, completely and totally deleted. That's what happens when you don't have a consistent precedent set going forward. So we need to accept, and this is my conclusion, I don't accept censorship on the pretext of I don't like what he says, I don't like what she says, I don't like what they say. Therefore, as a tech company, I'm going to unanimously or unilaterally decide to ban somebody or demonetize this person, but kind of ban that person. I like this person a little bit more, so it's cool. I might be a liberal, so it's better this way. Like no, these people are not equipped to make these decisions, and this is something that we should accept, but it's also something that we should act on. I'm not even saying they're doing the wrong thing on purpose in a lot of these situations. I'm saying they are not equipped to make these decisions. Period, point blank. I'd love to know what your thoughts are about this. Like the video, leave a comment below. But hey, people, remember, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.